Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Assistant Fire Chief Andrea Glass, and with me today I have Assistant Fire Marshal David Fabach from Tempe Fire Medical Rescue. I have Fire Investigator David Ziering from Gilbert Fire and Rescue and his ATF K9 Zeta. And then I also have Tempe Police Officer Natalie Barella. First, what we'd like to do is we'd like to begin this by extending our condolences to the family of those lost in the fire that we're going to be briefing about today. This obviously was a very tragic event, and we want to make sure that we start by sending our condolences to those who lost their family members. As has been reported, crews responded shortly after 1:30 in the morning of October 11th to the 1600 block of West Geneva. On arrival, crews found the home fully engulfed with fire. After the fire was extinguished, 2 victims were found deceased inside the home. Neighbors in the area reported sounds of an explosion shortly before the fire, and officials were able to rule out natural gas as a cause of the explosion early into the investigation. Fire investigators requested resources from Gilbert Fire and Rescue to use an accelerant detection canine to assist in determining the cause of the fire. The canine did positively detect accelerants inside the home, and investigators can confirm that the cause of the fire was not accidental. The explosion that was heard by neighbors was a result of the ignition source coming in contact with vapors from the accelerant. The type of accelerant is unknown, and items from the scene have been collected and sent to a lab for testing. This can be confirmed as an isolated event. The cause of death is determined by the Office of the Medical Examiner. Sorry, one second. The investigation is still ongoing by the Office of the Medical Examiner, and the identities of the deceased are unknown until they can positively identify them. We are asking that questions concerning the cause of death and the identities be directed to the Office of the Medical Examiner's office. Once again, we would like to extend our condolences to the family and to those in the neighborhood who are affected by this tragedy. We will open it up for a few questions now.
Can you repeat the part about the unknown accelerant?
Absolutely. Give me one second. Let me make sure I get back to the right place. Okay. Type of accelerant. Okay, so the type of accelerant is unknown, and items from the scene have been collected and sent to a lab for testing. I will absolutely turn it over to my Assistant Fire Marshal, David Fabach, and also to Fire Investigator David Ziering.
Good morning. My name is David Fabach. I'm the Assistant Fire Marshal for the City of Tempe Fire Medical Rescue. We ended up calling out resources from Gilbert Fire, Investigator Ziering, and K9 Zeta. As soon as we got on scene, we realized that the amount of damage and the time frame just didn't quite match up. Luckily enough, Dave Ziering and Zeta came out, and what he does, I'll let him speak to the actual process, but it's a great resource for us to have. She is an ATF dog. David works all over the valley, all over the country, and it really helps us out in our investigation from a efficiency standpoint. I mean, we could have been out there for several days, but with the help of Zeta, we were able to get in and out of there within about 16 hours. So as far as the process, I'll turn that over to Investigator Ziering.
Again, my name is David Ziering. This is my K9 Zeta. She is the only ATF accelerant detection K9 in the state of Arizona. We have a great working relationship with Tempe Fire and Medical. So based on the fire damage, as Mr. Fabach said, there was roof collapse, ceiling collapse, mass loss was great. So Zeta is a tool that can go into a structure and work a scene very, very quickly. She's trained to detect accelerants, ignitable liquids. In this case, she did have multiple alerts. At this time, those samples were taken to the crime lab, and they will determine what the ignitable liquid that was used. But again, Zeta is an efficient tool to use on fire investigations because she can work a scene relatively quickly. It still takes investigators to dig the scene. It still takes the investigators to do the origin and cause. And again, we have a great working relationship with Tempe Fire and Medical, and it was a team effort, and the scene went fairly smoothly for the amount of damage that was done. She's trained to detect 6 different classifications of ignitable liquids. So when she alerts, she's rewarded for that alert. So she can't tell me what the ignitable liquid is. That's where a chemist will have to tell us what that accelerant is, or ignitable liquid.
I just wanted to clarify, since you believe that the fire was not accidental, does that mean that this is believed to be a case of arson?
I'm going to let, yeah.
At this time, the investigation is still ongoing, so we can't really rule out. I mean, at this point, we know that it is not accidental.
Was homicide then?
I can't speak to that at this point.
So not accidental, but you cannot say arson.
Not at this point.
Can you, we know there at least one explosion, was there more than one?
No, we recovered. Tempe PD was able to recover video footage from around the neighborhood. It appears to be one explosion only.
Are you all looking for a suspect?
No, they're. Well, I can let PD if you'd like to speak to that.
Yeah, at this time, this investigation is ongoing, but I can tell you there's nobody outstanding that we believe. Again, this is a very complex investigation. There's various layers to this, and it's going to take us some time to work through this. Obviously, we need to wait till we hear the information back from the Office of the Medical Examiners to determine additional factors that will play into this investigation.
Okay, and also to clarify, so an unknown liquid was found in the home, and also something that ignited that liquid, but as to what those components are.
Yeah, and I'll let Chief Glass address that.
Yeah, that's affirmative. So when we have as much damage as we had in this home, I mean, we had an explosion, we had a significant amount of fire, and it's an extremely difficult scene to go through. It takes a lot of hours to dig through the scene and find all the evidence. And then, as Detective Barella spoke to, we still are waiting for confirmation of what the cause of death was for the victims. And so it's a very ongoing. We're trying to get the information out to you because we know that there's been a lot of questions about it. What we can answer right now is it was not accidental, that we do have evidence suggesting of accelerants inside that are going to be tested by the lab, and that we are waiting for the cause of death. Based on the video footage and surveillance footage, we were able to determine that there were no other persons or anything around there. So that's how we're saying there's no outstanding persons. We've got the one explosion that we could see on the video surveillance, and then we also have the subsequent damage with the fire. So again, it's a very complex situation. We're trying to take our time and make sure it's done correctly. We're also trying to respect the family members and make sure that information that we do provide is sensitive to our families as well.
What do you want the neighbors to know about the investigation as far as their safety is concerned?
As far as their safety is concerned, we don't have any other threats associated with the fire or with anything around that neighborhood. We want to make sure they understand that there's no chance for explosions due to this particular incident, and that their safety is taken care of.
Is there any indication that they were dead before the fire?
We don't have any indications right now with information that we can release.
What does not accidental mean?
It means that we have evidence suggesting that this was not a electrical fire, this was not a other kind of fire. We don't have any idea if there was motive or intent associated with this, so all we can say is that we do have evidence of accelerants that are on scene, and that's what we can go with. Any other questions that we can answer at this time? I know this is a very complex scene and it's a very difficult scene to be able to address, but we do want to get that information, at least give you the cause of the fire that we are aware of, and any supporting information as well. So the question was, how many departments do we have called to the scene? We had departments from Phoenix Fire, Guadalupe Fire, and then also obviously Tempe Fire Medical Rescue. And then for assistance with the investigation, we had Gilbert Fire Rescue, Tempe Police Detectives, and ourselves were part of that investigation. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. We appreciate all the help.
Thank you. Did you record yet this morning? Get yours. Say thank you. She wants breakfast. You want breakfast, don't you? Sure.
Thank you, guys.